Hi grade 6 and 7, welcome back to your next blues riff lesson. This is week 10, so we only have one more riff that's going to come next week. So make sure you've mastered last week's riff, and this riff will be a whole lot easier. So in today's lesson, we're going to go through our blues scale, but we're going to extend it a little bit further, and then I'll show you our riff. So let's first start off by doing our normal E minor pentatonic scale, then we do our E minor pentatonic blues scale, and then I'll show you how we extend it and we'll learn a new technique. So a lot of stuff today. So let's start off our E minor pentatonic scale. Make sure you have your guitar and it's tuned up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Backwards. So that's our E minor pentatonic scale. Let's try E minor pentatonic blues scale. 1, 2, 3, go. One more time, backwards. Now we're going to extend it just a little bit further. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from, let's start again and get all the way up until this note. 1, go. Now once we get here, we're going to go down to the next string. We're going to make a rectangle. So this is a very common move in guitar. You always see the index ring right under it, right? So we're going to go. That's another blues note right there. So, follow me. Index finger on the 3rd fret of your high E string. Ring finger on the 5th fret of your high E string. Ring finger goes up to the 6th fret of your high E string. Then up to the 7th fret of your high E string. So from this note over here. So your ring finger is playing those 3 notes on the high E string. Let's take it from here. 3rd fret of our B string. Backwards, go. One more time. Backwards. Let's try to take it all the way from the beginning up until here. 1, go. Backwards. Let's do that one more time, a little bit slower. 3, go. Backwards. And that's our E minor pentatonic blues scale, the extended version. It makes you sound really smart when you say, hey, I can play my E minor pentatonic extended blues scale. That's a really long name. So now let's go ahead and get into our riff for today. This is riff number 5. So it goes like this. So let's see what I'm doing there. So this riff is not like the other ones in the sense of we're doing a lot of the stuff on just the 3 strings, the G, B, and high E string. So let's take it. So the first part of this riff, usually we always have 4 parts. We're going to start with our middle finger right there on the 4th fret of the G string. Then you're gonna go to the 3rd fret of the B string. Then you're gonna have, with your index finger, then you're gonna go to the 5th fret of the B string with your ring finger. So you're kind of like making a triangle. If you're to join all of these dots together, all your fingers, imagine they're dots. You go twip, twip, so make a triangle, and this would be the tip of the triangle. So an easy way to remember it. So, let's try it. 4, 3, 5. Now on your right hand, the way to really get that is to go down, down, up. All right? Down, down, up. Using your pick, you're going to hit a downstroke, downstroke, upstroke. So together, go. Da, da, da. Do, da, da. Do, da, da. Do, da, da. With me, let's go. Do, da, da. Do, da, da. Last time. One more for good luck. Now we're gonna bring in a new technique called a bend. Now one really cool thing about guitar or any stringed instrument, well, but mainly the guitar, is we can do something that most instruments can't, and that's called a bend. So we use it a lot. Why? Because it makes it sound really cool. So you're gonna put your ring finger on the 5th fret of the high E. You're gonna have your middle finger on the 4th fret and your index finger on the 3rd fret. Although we're only gonna hear the note that the ring finger is on, we need these other 2 fingers for strength. If you don't have them, it'll be really hard to bend. You can't bend like this. It's not easy for this ring finger. So you're gonna take it down here on the 5th fret of the high E string. You're gonna play, and you're gonna push it up. All right? Just like that. Try it with me. Again. Make sure it doesn't cut out. So it shouldn't go. It should still make a sound. You see, it's still ringing. When I bend it, it's still ringing. So let's try that all up until there. 1, go. Again, go. Last time. Now once you do that bend, we're going to take our ring finger back down on the 5th fret. Then we're going to play that note and play the index finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. So they're going to be exactly back to the normal position. So we don't play them when they're bent, we're going to play them when they're normal. So let's do it from the bend. Again. One more time. Then we're going to take it up to the 5th fret of the B string with our ring finger, then come back to our index finger, 3rd fret, then go back to our ring finger on the 5th fret of the B. So it's just going ring on the B, 5th on the B, then index 3rd on the high E, then back to the ring, 5th fret on the B. So let's do it from the bend. Now when you do it on the bend, you're going to really feel it on your fingers. So this is going to force your fingers to become hard, and it's going to hurt, but that's a good thing. Because then that shows you that, all right, I need to push past this so that I can get used to the pain. And once you can get used to the pain of bending, that makes you really good in being able to play your notes nice and clearly, because it gives you a lot of strength, okay? So let's do it from the bend. Slower. Again, go. One more time. Go. So now let's take it from the beginning. Go! Again, go! Last time, go! Now for part 2, you're going to do the exact same thing in the first 3 notes. But now you're gonna slide. Now we brought a slide in last week. This week is bending. So you go slide from the 5th to the 7th fret using that extended scale. All right, so it has to be quick. Don't go. Actually, you can do that. Yeah, because we're not going. We're going. So like zoom. All right, so 5th to 7th. This is also gonna cause your finger to feel pain, but push through it. This will make you a really good guitarist. All right. So let's take it from here. Now watch what I did there. I slid to the 7th, came back down with the same ring finger to the 6th fret of the high E, same ring finger to the 5th fret of the high E. Alright? So it's going to be, again, only that ring finger. One more time. Slowly. Then we're gonna play this note over here, our blues note. That's the 3rd fret of the G string. Alright, so. Again. So let's try to put part 2 together. 3, go. Again, go. Make sure you grab it with that index finger. That's why we're moving down with our ring finger, so our index finger can be free to grab that note. So let's try to put part 1 and part 2 together. 3, go. Part 2. One more time, slower. Now part 3 is going to be exact same thing as part 1. I hope you're seeing this as a trend. Whenever we have a part 3, it's usually the same as a part 1. So part 3 is going to be the same thing. Again. So if you have part 1, then you automatically have part 3. So let's try to go from part 1 until part 3. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, go. Part 3. One more time from part 1. 3, go. Now part 4, we're going to have the same slide that we had in part 2, but we're going to start from the slide. We're going to go from the 5th to the 7th fret, sliding with our ring finger. Alright? So that ring finger is doing so much work. Like if you look at my ring finger, you can see like there's a slight skin being lost right there. Just because I'm bending and I'm sliding with it. So you're going to feel it, but push through. Push through. It'll make you really good. So part 4. So you're going to slide to the 7th fret with your ring finger, then play the 5th fret with your index finger. So let's try it together slowly. Again, slide. We're in part 4. Then once you play that note in your index finger, you're going to come back to your ring finger on the 7th fret. You're going to do the same thing you did in part 2. Walk down with the ring finger on the 7th, walk down with the ring finger on the 6th, walk down with the ring finger on the 5th. So let's try it again. Alright, let's try again. Last time. Then do what we did in part 2. We play that note, 3rd fret on the G string. Alright, then we just go back to part 1. So, alright, we'd finish just like that. But we'll only finish after twice. When you do it the first time, we're going to go back to the first part. So, first part. So let's try to do that whole thing twice. And yeah. Make sure you practice it and get it good. You're going to feel on the slides and on the bend. So let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, go. Slower. Alright, last time I'm just going to play it 2 times through at normal speed. So if you want to try and play with the last one, that'll help you really get those notes down. But now, full speed. 1, 2, 3, go. So that's our blues riff for number 5. We've just learned how to bend the strings, and our fingers should be burning. If they ain't burning, then that means you were sipping on Coca-Cola while eating your crisps and watching this video, which is not what you should be doing. Your fingers should be feeling the steel, or if you have a classical guitar, the nylon on your guitar. So practice that, get those bends, get those slides really good, get those blues notes, get that rhythm. Rhythm is what makes a really good musician, and what we're doing is building technique on a specific instrument. So get it good, and I will see you next week for our final riff, and you're gonna pick one of the 3 and you're gonna play it for me in our final assessment. Remember, I'm gonna be seeing you live, so make sure you're practicing hard because there's no escaping. Alright, grade 6 and 7, have a good one, and I will see you next week. Bye.